The term ho opis ho arkhaios, the ancient serpent, likely refers to the serpent in Eden, used by Satan to communicate with the woman, Genesis 3:1-15. As the original serpent, Satan is also regarded as the father of all those who oppose God in a spiritual sense. Therefore, Jesus refers to such individuals as the offspring of vipers.
You snakes, you offspring of vipers, how will you escape being condemned to hell? Matthew 23:33. The Lord God said to the serpent, "Because you have done this, cursed are you above all the wild beasts and all the living creatures of the field. On your belly you will crawl, and dust you will eat all the days of your life." Genesis 3:14.
The Hebrew word, arr, is commonly translated as curse, which in our understanding often implies something negative. However, the word arr can also mean to bind, to thwart, or to limit someone or something. In this sense, the curse placed on the serpent indicates that it was constrained and restricted compared to other living creatures. The Jamieson Fausset Brown Bible commentary Genesis 3:14 states that the serpent was cursed. Some Western commentators, such as those in the Jamieson Fausset Brown Bible commentary, interpret the serpent's curse as a metaphor referring to the evil being that used the serpent as its instrument. The serpent crawling on its belly and eating dust is also understood metaphorically, symbolizing God's humiliation of Satan, who was once an angel of light. Additionally, the serpent itself was cursed to crawl on its belly and eat dust. While we do not know how the serpent moved before this, perhaps its original form was different from what we see today. Perhaps it had legs. However, the Bible does not describe the serpent's former state. Any speculation about this remains mere conjecture. Since that moment, the serpent has been regarded as a vile and despicable creature, a fitting object of scorn and revulsion. "On your belly you shall go" suggests that the serpent might have once stood upright or semi-upright. Subsequently, it was condemned to crawl. "Your belly on the ground," an expression signifying a degraded and pitiful condition. Through a Peshat reading, literal interpretation, and an intertextuality study of the Hebrew text, the meaning of dust in Genesis 3:14 can be understood as a personification of humans, since humans were created from the dust of the ground, Afar min hadamah.
The Lord God formed the man from the soil of the ground, Afar min ha, Adamaha, and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and the man became a living being. Genesis 2:7.
In his plea before God, Abraham positions himself as dust and ashes before God to emphasize his humanity.
Then Abraham asked, "Since I have undertaken to speak to the Lord, although I am but dust and ashes." Genesis 18:27.
The dust that reveals the human side is also shown in this verse.
"For we lie in the dirt, with our bellies pressed to the ground." Psalms 44, verse 25.
Who is the serpent? Is the serpent mentioned a literal serpent? If so, we know that a serpent does not eat dust. Therefore, we need to consider what dust as the serpent's food represents, not in a literal sense. It is important to note that the Hebrew Bible never directly identifies the serpent with Satan. The well-known story, often interpreted to place Satan in the Garden of Eden, is not about a literal serpent, but rather an angelic being. The correlation between the serpent and Satan only becomes clear in the New Testament, specifically in the book of Revelation.
He seized the dragon, the ancient serpent, who is the devil and Satan, and tied him up for 1,000 years. Revelation 22:2.
The ancient serpent in the book of Revelation is clearly identified as the devil, Satan, ho ophis ho arkhaios. This serpent, the old serpent, Hebrew, Hanakash Hakadmoni, is referred to as the devil, or Satan, hos estin diabolos kai satanas, meaning he is the devil and Satan, Revelation 22. The term ho opis ho arkhaios, the ancient serpent, likely refers to the serpent in Eden, used by Satan to communicate with the woman, Genesis 3:1-15. As the original serpent, Satan is also regarded as the father of all those who oppose God in a spiritual sense. Therefore, Jesus refers to such individuals as the offspring of vipers.
You snakes, you offspring of vipers, how will you escape being condemned to hell? Matthew 23:33.
The serpent cursed to eat dust is a figurative expression referring to its evil nature, which enticed the woman to eat what was forbidden. The people who have become victims of Satan will also become his agents in the evil that exists on this earth. You shall eat dust, referring to humanity's fall into sin, signifies that they have become victims of Satan. They become children of Satan, who is their father. They too lick the dust like serpents.
They will lick the dust like a snake, like serpents crawling on the ground. They will come trembling from their strongholds to the Lord our God. They will be terrified of you. Micah 7:17.